This is Jeff with Eternity Shore. I have no idea the order of videos I'm going to be putting out there because we've been all over the place. There's been a lot that's happened, and I want to explain that to you here in a second. Our boat is in the water, and I am sitting in the dinette. The water is lapping up against the boat. We have 20 to 30 mile an hour winds right now, so that's not pleasant. But getting here has been an adventure, an odyssey, as it were. Let me try to explain as best I can the order of events and how they happened. I was basically doing final checks. We were supposed to go in on Saturday, April 12th. We were supposed to go in Saturday, April 12th. Put the boat in the water Saturday early, and then Mary and I would focus on cleaning and doing some other things. So in my final checks before getting the boat in the water, I decided I was going to hook up a hose to the port side to run water through it and then turn the engines on. Well, I hooked up a hose to the port side engine, and there was a leak. And the leak was in the power steering cooler, which I did a YouTube short on that. That cooler, which was about this long, was leaking. And so what we were told, or the suggestion I got, was to replace that we didn't need the power steering in the port side because we have power steering in the starboard side. These engines are the same, and they just build in all that stuff. And so that power steering cooler on the port side is actually just the coolant that comes in and out. It's just tied to itself. It's not really doing anything. So I got a pipe, and we were trying to get a pipe that fit 1 inch inner diameter. Maybe it was 3/4. No, I think it was 1 inch inner diameter. So we got a pipe, and I hooked up the hoses to that pipe, but I could not get it to not leak water because the hose coming from the below at the engine was kind of angled like this, and the pipe was here, and I couldn't get enough of the hose onto the pipe. The pipe had threads in it, you'll see. I couldn't get enough on there, and so it was leaking water. So I thought, let's just cancel the putting in on Saturday. I don't want to go in with one engine. So I called them, contacted the marina with Tommy, who's great, and I told him I can't go in Saturday. Let's just delay it. So Mary and I came in on Saturday, and we were going to try to solve this problem. So on Saturday and Sunday was very frustrating. I barely filmed because I was so frustrated with what was happening. So yeah, no, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So we were trying to fix this darn water leak in the engine. Ultimately, we could not get that pipe to work without some leaking water. So then, in the meantime, the marina really wanted us to go back in the water because we were blocking 2 boats that were scheduled to go in on Tuesday. So they didn't want to move us twice. Totally understand that. So scrambled around. I got a friend, Brian, with me. Brian and I bought a 1-foot hose, went to a plumbing store and got connections for that hose. They did not have brass. We wanted barbed brass connections, but they didn't have them, and I needed to get this boat in the water, so we used plastic barbed connections, but we couldn't get one of them all the way on, so we weren't sure if it was going to hold or not. But when you run a hose through the engine, apparently I was told that's a lot more PSI than just the engine picking up water from the bay. So that means that perhaps it wouldn't leak if we got it in the water, once they put it in the water. So that wasn't a problem. Ultimately, that was not a problem. But when we put the boat in the water, almost immediately the power steering fluid began to leak in the port side. All right, the first thing we're going to do is try to get all that power steering fluid out from the bilge. What I just did was I just reattached with 2 clamps the power steering fluid. I don't like where it's sitting right now against the intake hose, but I can get it up out of the way, but I want to make sure that it's not leaking. So I'm going to run the engine I'm gonna turn the engine on, and I'm gonna put the camera here. It's stupid windy right now. I am gonna run the blowers, and then I'm gonna start the port side engine, having reattached with double clamps the power steering fluid lines. Actually cut one of them because I thought maybe the end of it was ripped a little bit. Maybe that's why it was leaking. But in principle, this should work. I should also check out whether or not the water intake is working. I have lights down there. I've got a camera down there, and we'll see if this is going to work. So I ran both engines, and I mean, you saw I didn't have any leaks. I revved it up to about 2,000 RPMs for a little bit. No water leak. Right now it doesn't look like there are any issues with the port side or the starboard side engine. So hooray, that's great. I do need to move. I don't like everything is kind of sitting on top of each other. I got clamps touching clamps, and I have to figure out a way to move the pickup hose out of the way a little bit. I don't want it rubbing on anything. And then the hoses I connected with the power steering fluid, those are kind of jumbled in there too, so I got to figure out a way to raise those up. I don't have anything above in the engine room to like kind of lift that up out of the way, so I might have to get a little bit creative there. And meanwhile, every time I go in the engine room, all the insulation comes off my head. I just put my hat down over here and look at the pile that it just created. Don't tell the Admiral, she will not be happy. The Admiral will not be happy. So I should clean that up right now. Well, bottom line is it's great to be back on the boat. I'm excited to get out on the water and have a trip. So season 4 is going to be underway here shortly. Season 4 is underway shortly. Let's get excited. Let's get this thing out there. But also let's be safe. Let's not have any problems with our pickup hose. Let's not have any problems with power steering fluid. Let's get out there. That's me. This is the starboard side. It's popping up all over the place. Both outdrives are leaking oil, and so I had to get it pulled. So right now, Eternity Shore is in the sling. It is Monday, and I have until tomorrow morning to see if I can figure out what's wrong. This might be a good moment to just pause, like, subscribe. Get us over the 1,000 subscriber mark. It could be you. You could be the 1,000th subscriber. Go ahead, just take